Hi everybody, welcome to the latest episode of Tops and Tails. My name is Huw Ware. I am so excited about this episode because I have with me today one of the greatest dart players to ever throw a dart. He's a two-time back-to-back world champion, a two-time Premier League champion, world match play champion, UK Open champion, Players' Championship Finals champion, a World Cup winner with Scotland, and a whole host of European Tour events and Pro Tour titles. There are far too many to mention. He's one of the most popular players on the planet to this day. It is none other than the Flying Scotsman, Mr. Gary Anderson. Hi, Gary.
Morning, Hugh.
Hi,
morning.
Can I say thank you so much for doing this? Have you ever done a podcast before? Is this your podcast debut in life?
Might be.
It might be.
Yeah,
And
might be.
See, that's amazing.
There you go.
I thank you so much. I mean, it might have had something to do with the fact that I've basically begged and screamed and crawled and cried for you to come on my podcast.
You have.
I think we were in somewhere on the European tour, and I literally just walked into the practice room, and I was like, Gary, and you were like, yes. And you're the greatest dart player of all time.
What Hugh?
Exactly, yeah. Do you want me on your podcast? Yes, please, Gary. Yes, please. No, thank you so much.
No, not a problem. It took a while to get around here, but we've finally got it done. So
we've got the time. Honestly, this is brilliant. So I got so much that I want to ask you, and in such a short space of time. Couple of mythbusters, first of all. Okay, is it true that your first ever 9 darts you ever threw
140, 180, 140.
140, 180, 140. That's true.
Yeah.
So you got to tell us the story of that, Gary.
This is going back years ago, back to Coldenham Caravan Park. Family had a caravan there for years, and I used to play a lot of pool. Pool was my main game, but things were getting tight. A game of pool was £1, which was a lot of money back then. So set of darts lying about, and my mate says he was playing darts, and he goes, "Come on, we'll play darts." And he just says, I says, "What have you got to do?" Right, just hit that red bit. And being cocky, I hit it 140. I didn't know it was any good. I just thought you had to hit the red bit, followed by the 3 red bits afterwards, and then another what was 140 at the back it.
Oh my God.
And that's when his dad came up and says, "How long have you been playing darts?" About 30 seconds. And they signed me up for the dart team about a fortnight later.
So was it a case where your friend was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen," and you were just like, "What?"
Yeah, it was just like,
what? It's
to me,
easy.
I never knew what I was doing. I never had a clue.
Wait, it was easy.
Yeah. I found, just hit that bit. We used to do it as a joke, put beer mats up and hit the 0 on the beer mat, and it was just things like that. And
was your throw the same as what it is now? Because you have the greatest throw in the world. Do you know what I mean?
I don't really watch videos myself, but I think my elbow's slightly further out now.
Okay.
It sticks out the way.
Right,
It used to be further in and straight. But I think the grip's the same, and the only thing I think is my arms dropped a bit with getting the glasses.
Right,
so
okay.
I used to touch with my flight. So with the glasses now, I've had to come down a wee bit. So, but more or less just the same.
It's amazing. It's just like a real natural talent. Do you know what I mean? So the other mythbuster I wanted to ask you, is it true? This happened when you became world champion. This was in the news a lot. Have you also hit a 147 in snooker, not darts?
On an iPad.
On an iPad?
No, I used to play a lot of snooker.
Okay.
I used to play snooker and golf, back in the old days. I have had a hole-in-one, and that was the old 9-hole course in Portobello. It's now a school, and I think it was the first thing. Might have been the 6th hole. It was just a chip. Couldn't find the ball, and it was in the hole. So, like I say, just a fluke.
Oh, so you've hit a hole-in-one. You've had a 9-dart finish, several of them. And so, what's your highest break in snooker?
Highest break was 113.
130. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, the inevitable question: 9-darter versus hole-in-one versus 147.
9-darter.
The 9-darter. Yes, of course it is.
Because I'm right again.
Yeah, I know exactly. Brilliant stuff. I tell you what. Do you know? I grew up with you, Gary, when you sort of really. Well, not burst onto the scene because you were already very sort of seasoned, but 2007, is that fair to say was a bit of a breakthrough year because you won the International Darts Trophy, World Darts Trophy, and you beat everybody in the world from both BDO and PDC at that time.
Yeah, I can remember that because there was kind of a bit of hell on, wasn't it? It was a BDO tournament, but they were inviting PDC players.
That's right,
There was a bit of scuffle about that, wasn't it? But
was it a bit tense behind the scenes?
Well, it was the BDO boys thinking, well, why are they getting a
Yeah.
a free entry into this tournament, you know. So, but it was all good, you know. It was good.
Well, you played amazingly, and then you went to Lakeside 2008 as like a huge favourite. And if my memory serves me correctly, I think you went out first round in that.
Sounds about right with that tournament.
Well, this is what I was leading to.
Yeah.
So, what was it about Lakeside that just sort of didn't agree with you, Gary? Because for someone of your talent, you know, there were a lot of early exits in there, weren't there?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I mean, you had the crowd were brilliant, you know. They were the most respectable crowd that you could ever play in front of. I could not play. I think the best I got was the semi-finals, and I lost to little lamb chop Richie Davis.
Oh, that's right, yeah, Richie Davis, yeah.
Brilliant lad, absolutely fantastic kid, great dart player. But I just could not play on that stage, you know. But what made it worse, when I came to the PDC, I think my first taste of it was a Grand Slam.
Oh,
in the
yes.
Civic Hall, when the very first one, Barry invited me to play in it. Dog's abuse. Compare for the BDO, quiet crowd supporting the darts, to this rampage. And for some reason, I kind of preferred that than what I did the BDO crowd.
Yeah, do you know? I mean, it's not an easy stage to be on, Gary, at the best of times. I mean, there's a whole list of players who have struggled, in inverted commas, to play their best game on the Lakeside stage. I mean, I always found myself a bit like a fish out of water when I was refereeing. So if that's me refereeing, then God knows what it must have been like to play.
But I actually won the gold cup on the exactly same stage.
Oh, right.
You know, so it did. But when it came to the Lakeside, the embassy, could not play on that stage one bit.
Was it nerves? Was that mostly what it was?
Yeah, it probably was. And like I say, I think what helped when I came to PDC, the crowd being the complete opposite. If I was going to be nervous, well, I was really going to be nervous with this lot on my back, but it seemed to help me. For some strange reason, it seemed to, the more dogs abuse I got, the better it used to fire me up, and I think that kind of helped me in the long run.
Well, when was the story? There's a famous story, isn't there, of you throwing the darts in the lake after a match? They're probably still there. Yeah. This was 20 years ago. They're probably still there.
People used to say, "Oh, you went through that," but we used to do it. Me and Gary Robson used to do it every year, no matter what. No matter what. Even when I won the Gold Cup, I got my photo taken on the wee wall with the trophy. As soon as that was done, my winning darts went in the lake. But every year we used to throw the darts in the lake. We used to sit there and Robson would go, "It's that time now." I went, "Yeah." We'd go outside and lob the darts in. But that was just a bit of fun that we used to have.
I just got this image, like there's loads of sets of darts of yours in the bottom of Lakeside Lake.
Hundreds of players. I'm sure jockeys even lobbed a few sets in there over the years, you know. So
really,
a few sets of darts in that pond, yeah.
Was Jockey a bit of an inspiration to you growing up?
Never met Jockey. I really, the only bit I can remember anything about darts was my dad watching it.
Okay.
And shouting for Jockey Wilson. You know, I just had no interest at all. And I can remember being in one of my mates' houses up at Trinent next to my granddad's, which was George McNeil's house. He was a professional runner back in the day.
Oh, right.
He was one of the fastest men on the planet at one stage. And we were upstairs playing, I don't know if it was snooker or whatever, up in the attic, and the telly was on. And that's when Della bet Bristow.
Oh, wow.
And that's the only recall that I've got anything on telly with darts was that Della winning and my dad shouting for Jockey. Yeah,
because like the whole country sort of tuned in for Della v Bristow, didn't they? How old were you, Gary, in 83? How old was this?
83. I'd have been 12, 13.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Oh, so you were aware of darts when you first picked up a set of darts, 140, 180, 140?
Yeah, I was about 24, before but I can always remember my dad watching Jockey and being up in George McNeil's attic playing whatever it was, Electric or whatever, and the darts was on the wee telly up there.
Yeah.
And it was a Bristow Della game.
So you were always like aware of darts.
I'd seen it twice, but never paid much attention to it.
Essentially, when they sort of put you into the team after they saw your first 9 darts, they put you into the team next week.
I started playing darts down at the local leagues, and that couldn't count. And they used to absolutely give me. I thought if I had 50 left, hit the bull. That was easy for me because I knew that was 50.
Yeah.
You know, and still to this day I still struggle with my counting, but my counting was so bad.
So's mine, Gary, don't worry. Mine's
bad.
Getting worse.
61, I knew 11 left 50, so it was 11 bull.
Yeah.
I couldn't work out back then, right, treble 7 tops, but the boys that used to play darts with me, they used to make me mark quite a bit.
Right.
Even though I was winning all the game, they say you're still marking. You need to learn to count, you know.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Oh, you had sort of like good influences around you because like you were so good. I can just imagine if you turned around and asked what's left, they're like, nope, not telling you. You figure it out. Just
I mind playing darts. Started playing darts in Berwick upon Tweed. So it wasn't. It was Eyemouth, and they used to have National Day tournament, and there was a dart player that used to come from Alnwick called Ian Willis. A lovely kid, you know, and a very good dart player, very slow, and he used to win it every year. So the boys that I used to play in the darts team turned up and seen him. They went, "You coming to National Day?" Went, "Oh aye, it's my pocket money day." He went, "You're not winning this year." He goes, "There's a young boy here going to play you." He goes, "You'll get a pattern." And I did. I won it. I think I beat him it was either the semis or the final.
Yeah.
But going back a long time now, Hugh.
Well, I know. I mean, were you? Did people used to come up to you and say, "You're going to be the next big thing. You should take this more seriously. You should go to this tournament, that tournament"? Did you? If they did you enjoy that sort of attention? Did you? You know?
Well, there wasn't really that. I mean, back in the days, you'd have a Friday night. You'd always have like a £500 tournament on. And then a Saturday, there'd be £1,000 one on, and the Sunday would have been the same, 500 or 1,000. And I think it was like a couple of quid to enter, you know, and that's what we used to do. I mean, counties, super leagues, things like that, I didn't even know existed. I just thought it was a wee competition at the local pub, and that was it. We used to turn up, play it, make a couple of quid, and have a few beers afterwards.
And also, it must have been like, for you, was it like, what's all the fuss about? This is easy. Do you know what I mean?
It was games, and then as you got into the game, you'd say, right, this boy's across here, he plays for that team, he's a cracking player, he's a county player. What's a county player?
Right.
You know, he's an international. What's an international? Not got a clue. And I was beating him. You know, it was just one of these things. It was just a fun night out with the boys. You know, a good crack and a good bit of banter and a game of darts.
Well, you've sort of taken that attitude right the way through your career, haven't you? I mean, we'll come on to that a bit later on. But like, so we've gone like 2007, Lakeside 2008. So when did the switch from the BDO to the PDC happen? How did that come about, Gary?
I was always going to do it a few years before. But being with the BDO, they used to promise you the world, you know, and you would never ever get it. I mean, 2 years later, everything was the same as what they say they were going to change. So,
oh right. So I mean, was that?
Sorry, I've got a sore throat. That's why I ended up staying for a couple of years, because everything was supposed to change and never did. So I think after that Worlds at the Lakeside, I went, I'm gone. I made it quite clear that I was jumping ship.
Okay. I mean, if you don't mind me asking, did that go down well or not really? Or
a few people stopped talking to me, but you know, if that's how people are going to act, then carry on, you know. But that's it. I wanted to do it and give it a go and see what it was like. And I wish I'd done it sooner.
Really, yeah.
I wish I'd done it 2-3 years beforehand. That I said I wanted to do it, but you'll get what was getting drummed into you was, you don't want to go across there because you don't get paid. They don't pay you. They've got no money. But you start listening to things like that, don't you? So you don't know who to. And I just bit the bullet and says, right, I'm going. That's it. I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah, well, because the two, I think you played in 2 Grand Slams when you were still with the BDO, if I remember, and you reached the semis on like both occasions. So that was like a good hint to you, probably, you know.
Yeah, that was a bit. I loved. That's why I still love the Grand Slam to this day. You know, my first semi-finals, I'm sure it was against Taylor.
I think it was, yes.
The second one was old mucker Terry Jenkins.
I think you're right.
And they were good games, or tight games. So that kind of pushed all the buttons for me. You know, that's what kind of pushed it on.
I sort of reeled off some of your CV during the introduction. You know, we could have been talking, we could have been spending hours on it, Gary, all the stuff you've won. But the Grand Slam you love, and it's something that you haven't won, is it? Are you still determined to win that? Before you call it a day, you've got to win the Grand Slam.
I'd love to, but I think the days are long gone now, Hugh. You know, it's one of the things. I think that, like I say, it was my first tournament I actually encountered with the PDC, and I loved every minute. Even though I was getting dogs abuse, it was just great. You know, I used to love, even now I still, when I go, still have a walk around the town, have a wee donder here and there, past the Harley shop, the motorbike shop, and it's just, it's just my favourite tournament. And it's kind of stuck with me ever since.
Can I ask you, Gary? I mean, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, honestly, but like, do you feel your best opportunity to win the Grand Slam was the final against Gezi, because you were ahead in that game, weren't you? If I remember, I can't remember what the score was, but I think you were ahead for a lot of it.
Yeah,
and then obviously it goes away at the end.
Yeah,
but
lost at the end. Have I been to the final again? I can't. Taylor. I'm sure I lost to Phil Taylor.
Yes, I think you did. I think that was a few years before, if I remember rightly.
But I got absolutely battered. But I actually turned up because I was playing so bad. I turned up I knew I had to play 3 games. So I turned up enough clothes for 4 days, 3 dart shots, and that was it. And I kept getting through. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I had to go away and buy a new clobber, you know. But
was that in your foul fashion days? Because you had Foul Fashion as your sponsors, didn't you, for a few years?
I think that was later on.
Was that later on? Was it? Okay.
Yeah. So I had to go and buy stuff. So I made the final, and it was just a kind of fluke that I got there. But Taylor gave me a right battering up there.
Oh yeah, he was kind of still very much at his peak. That was still peak Phil Taylor, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We'll come on to Phil in a bit later. But do you know, your official PDC debut after the Grand Slam? I think I was in the crowd, Gary. Do you remember where it was? The fact that I was in the crowd might be a bit of a giveaway, but...
Right, my first one, so I came across after the Worlds.
Yeah.
UK Open? No?
Oh, no, I don't think it was. I think it was the Premier League, love, in Cardiff.
Was it Premier League, was it?
Yeah, I think you did a guest night of the Premier League in Cardiff against John Part.
Yes, because Mardell was off with the mumps, didn't he?
Wayne pulled out with mumps.
Myself and Mark Webster, that's
right, yeah.
Yeah, forgot about that.
I know, I was in the crowd for that, and I think you won something like 8-1 with 107 average or something. It was just...
Yeah.
No, I was going to ask you what your memories were of that then, but I don't...
That was scary. I mean, even Mark Webster...
It was scary, was it? Yeah.
I can remember getting there early with Mark, and we went out to the actual arena, and we stood, because all the seats had been not put down yet. We're just standing, and the place was massive. It was absolutely massive. And I'm going, oh my God. And I think Mark was the same, but it was just, the atmosphere was something else, you know. Yeah, that's right. Mardell was ill, so we had to step in, and I played John Part.
Do you know, it's funny you should say that the arena in Cardiff is massive, because nowadays it's probably one of the smallest ones that we
like
go
Exeter,
to.
Isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but back then, I mean, we were used to playing in little halls.
Oh yeah.
You know, when you went to somewhere like that, oh my God, what's going on here?
We were talking off camera about Pontins Verstatten, Breen Sands, but here, Berlin's Minehead back 20 years.
This is where the darts used to be, you know, used to be here for the British Open, English Open, all the darts, the Welsh Open, you know, this is what we've done 20 odd years ago. This was where we came and stayed and played darts.
Yeah.
You know, good weekends.
No, it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, you kind of took to it like a duck to water, but what I was going to ask you was... So the arena in Cardiff, probably one of the biggest ones at that time. You've seen firsthand the growth of darts, all these different huge, big new arenas, like the O2 in Dublin, Leeds, for all the rest of them now. Yeah. What's that been like to sort of see darts grow in the way that it has globally? All the places you've been to around the world.
Yeah, we've been to everywhere: China, Japan, Dubai. And
do you have a favourite?
Japan was nice.
You like Japan,
even though never had a clue what they were saying. I've never met so many polite people.
Yeah.
I think they were being polite. They might have not been, but to me they were being very polite. But Japan, Dubai, something else. New Zealand, one of my favourite spots. Australia, fantastic. Except everyone wants to kind of either eat you or sting you. So you've got to watch what you're doing across there. But no, just, and it's been through darts that I've got to see the places. If I hadn't been darts, I'd have probably never seen them. So it's been good to travel and seeing the places. But like you say, the growth in darts, if you'd said to us 15 years ago, darts is going to be this big, we'd have probably been, right, mate. But now, and with the kids coming through now, darts is in a good place.
Do you know, the scariest thing is that I think it still could get bigger, Gary, it's just...
Right now, I mean, if I do exhibitions, I used to go and play pub teams and play adults and what have you. Now, it's all just kids for the ages 6 up, and they love it, which is, it's good. I like seeing the kids coming through, and Ireland's going to have some cracking players in the near future. Scotland's going to have a few, and I'm sure it's going to be the same in Germany and Belgium.
Well, there's one name from Scotland at the moment that's causing a lot of headline, Mitchell Lawrie. I mean, have you seen him? Have you met him, Gary?
I met him a while back at an exhibition,
right.
And lovely kid. Good.
Oh, yeah.
He's good. And people are thinking, is it because of Luke Litter's what he's done? No, he was playing against Luke Litter 2-3 years back, so this young boy's something else as well. He's got all the talent in the world.
If you were to give him any advice at all, Gary, because he's only 14, isn't he?
He's only 14.
So what advice would you give him?
Keep your head on your shoulders, don't let it get to your head. If you're winning this, winning that, just stay yourself, don't get cocky. That's the worst thing, because if you start getting cocky, the other boys get a bit, what dart players are like a pack of wheels, and if you upset them, they'll soon gang up on you. So just enjoy it and do what he's doing, and he'll have a great career.
This episode is brought to you by British Army Recruitment. You may have heard a little bit about the Army already, but maybe you're wondering, what's in it for me? Well, let me tell you a quick story which might give you a better picture. In August 2025, I visited the Falkland Islands for the first time and spent 5 nights on the Mount Pleasant military complex there, along with my father, who is a veteran of the Falklands War, which took place there back in 1982. Whilst we were there, we helped to launch the brand new Dart Society on the base. It was only a small idea, but it was one that brought many, many people together. It was incredible to see firsthand the sense of camaraderie, discipline and support that shapes life in the Army. You can really feel it in the way that people look out for each other, push each other and celebrate achievements together. Darts has officially been recognised as a sport in the Army just this year, joining rugby, football and many more sports. Sport isn't just a hobby here, it's built into the week. Most bases dedicate Wednesday afternoons to sport, whether it's a 5-a-side game, a run or a darts tournament. And it's not just about playing games, it's about focus, staying calm under pressure, and teamwork. Those are the kinds of skills that carry over into every part of your life, both in and out of the Army. Whilst I was on base, I trained with a 460 Port Troop of the Royal Logistic Corps. That experience opened my eyes to a new level of elite fitness and mental focus. It's not just about keeping fit, it's about building resilience, sharpening your mind, and forming lifelong friendships with people who share your mindset and values. And there's more. Beyond sport, the Army offers opportunities to travel all over the world, whether that's for training exercises, humanitarian missions, or adventurous activities. You could find yourself kayaking in Norway, diving in New Zealand, or taking part in other activities designed to build confidence and push your limits. For long-term career growth, the Army is the UK's biggest apprenticeship provider, with over 40 options and paid training in more than 100 roles. So whether your sport is darts, football, rugby or something else, the British Army has something for you. Search British Army jobs to find out more. It's about more than just a career. It's about experiences, lifelong friendships and building skill sets that can last a lifetime. Hello everybody, I hope you're all enjoying this week's episode. Now I'm here with a very special giveaway competition, okay? Because Target Practice, the UK's first ever dartboard puzzle book, is now on sale. From Sudokus to Minesweepers, to logic puzzles to even dartboard mazes, Britain's king of puzzles, Dr. Gareth Moore, has written Target Practice. He has reinvented the dartboard into 100 different logic and number puzzles. I've had a skim through, guys. It really is amazing. It's the perfect Christmas gift for any darts fan, okay? We're very excited on this channel to be giving away 3 copies. We're going to be announcing the winners in early January, and all you have to do to be in with a chance of winning a copy is to comment below using the hashtag Tops and Tails Darts Podcast. That's all you have to do. Hashtag Tops and Tails Darts Podcast to be in with a chance. Take care, everyone. Happy Christmas and get hashtagging. There's another, kid back in the day who you helped to bring through the ranks, Gary, which is Michael Smith. Yeah, you sponsored Michael Smith, didn't you? So how did that come about? What's the story behind that?
It was just, with my manager and that, it was just me and Tommy. And we used to harpoon and says, we need to get a couple of young lads in the team and get a few more players. So I went one day, and I can't remember if it was Q School. Was it Q School or one tournament it was on? And I was watching all the darts going on. They're all hitting 180s, they're all hitting this and that. My head was scrambled. And I think at the end of it, I went, right, Michael was all right, him, I'm going to have a word with him. And Adam Hunt was the other one. So
oh yes,
that was the two that I went and just sat and with the blether, and yeah, that was a long time ago as well. You know, just kids back then, weren't they?
So you sponsored them to go onto the development tour, didn't you?
I was a babysitter, Tommy.
Oh right,
St Andrews, they were the management team and that, but I was the babysitter. That's why I've got grey hair, looking after Smithy for all the years.
But I mean, that must have given you a great feeling when Michael Smith wins the World Championships in the way that he does with the 9-dart finish and all the rest of it. That must have been a very proud moment for you, Gary.
It was. I mean, Michael had parted company with us by then, but you know, I'd said it for years that he was going to win it. It took him a bit longer than what I thought. I thought he'd had it wrapped up a good few years beforehand, you know. But all the talent in the world, you know, it was written in stone that he was going to win the World Championships, you know, and he did.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, so the first few years that you spent in the PDC, is it fair to say that you could basically sum it up by saying that you were an amazing scorer, great scorer, always was, but would miss doubles? Yeah. Is that fair to say that your first few years in the PDC anyway?
It's probably getting my counting right to get the right double. But no, I mean, scoring's always been fine. Doubles, yeah. But I used to panic. If you miss the first dart, right, I need to now. If I miss 3 darts, then my head was gone. That was it. Oh, that's it. I've lost the leg now.
Was it almost like if you had 3 darts a double, if you missed with the first dart, it plants the seed for the next 2? Right, okay.
So now you start, and it's like, and that doesn't go, and you're like, oh, for God's sake, because I've lost a lot of games through missed doubles. You know, having lots of darts at doubles and missing it. But I think it just, like I said, I used to panic. I used to give up. Like if I played a match and I went, say it was first to 5 and I was 3-0 down, I'd go, oh, why bother? You know, but now, if I was 3-0 down, I'm still going to try. I can still win this 5-3, 5-4. You know, I'm still going to try. I think you just learn that over time.
So what changed, Gary? Was there a moment, so like a low moment, either on the oche or off the oche, where it sort of made you think, right, sod all this, quite frankly, you know, I'm going to start hitting my doubles. Was there a moment which gave you a kick, as it were?
I think it just comes itself. I think you get older and get wiser, the saying is, and I think you do. I'm fine now that as I'm getting older, I'm more chilled. And like I say, I turn up to play. There's no pressure on me. I still miss doubles. You know, to this day, I still miss doubles.
So do I, Gary.
It's one of these things. If they're going to go in, they're going to go in. You know, we've seen the other day, who was it missed all the darts? Dom Taylor.
Oh yes,
you know, scored really well the other night, and he just could not hit a double. And if that's written in the book, it's you're missing it. You know, there's not a thing you can do about it. But it's just part of the parcel. If it wasn't for doubles, it'd be a really easy game.
I mean, it's. I remember you played a game against Michael van Gogh, and I mean, it's sort of well told you lost a game against Michael at the Worlds. Yeah. And did you come off the stage afterwards saying that won't happen again? You were really angry after that.
Oh, I was fuming on that match. I mean, I was playing well. I think I was 3-1 up on them in sets, something like that, and I lost it 4-3. And I don't usually get narky when I lose. I said that done my head right in. And I said, I can't remember who it was, but I said to one of the press bar, that ain't happening again. No way am I going to lose to him again. And the following year I played him, and I think I was in front again, and he came back, didn't he? Oh, here we go again. But I pipped him that time. So yeah, I mean, it was just I just felt I had it, but we missed doubles again. I went, you know, that's. Really
and I think I'm right in saying, I think Ty, your little boy, had just come along as well around about that time, I think, 2014. He came along just about the right time, wasn't it?
Born,
so how much, I mean, it sounds like a silly question, obviously, but how much of an effect and an influence did that have on your life, on your career, on everything when Ty was born?
It's nice being able to bring him with you as well. You know, that Ty's it's in his blood, unfortunately, but he's grown up with darts since the day that was born, and he's right into the darts now, and I'm like, I don't want him playing darts. But it's nice to have. I mean, now, like they're all at school, I travel them on, you know, so I sit in my hotel room, I get up, I go to the darts, I come back, I sit in my hotel room, and that's it. I'll FaceTime the kids and that and see how they're getting on, but it can be lonely. It's nice to have them with you. But then Shaylee came along and Ty was at school, so that all went out the window.
Why don't you want him to play darts, Gary? Go on. Why don't you want him to play darts?
I think one, being selfish, because when I retire, I ain't going to spend the rest of my life driving him to dart tournaments. And number two,
fair enough.
Number two, it won't be as good as his old
Ty,
man.
you're going to have to learn to drive as soon as you can. Just.
But no, he's doing really well. You know, I mean, I don't push at him. I don't practice. I might have a wee throw with him now and again, but we usually end up having an argument after 5 minutes. Oh. So it's not good for us to play. But he's learning. You know, he's doesn't play a lot. I says, he goes, but you don't practice. I says, but I've done it 30 years. You're just starting. You need to play. I says, oh, your wee mates that you play darts with, and I says, I bet you before they go to school, they're on the practice board. I bet when they're back from school, they're on the practice board. I says, you're not. I says, that's what will make the difference. But he doesn't listen because I'm dad, so you know what I mean.
Not everyone can throw 140, 180, 140 with their first 9 darts.
He's not far away.
He's not far away. No,
he's doing all right. He's coming on leaps and bounds. He's counting. Really good, so he's...
Well, he gets that from his dad, love.
Well, definitely not for me. Definitely not for me.
Well, Rachel plays darts, doesn't she? She used to play darts.
Yeah, a long time ago, but I think she was playing the other day at one of the kids' party. They had a wee darts party, so she was playing, so she's moaning about tennis elbow now.
Oh no, oh gosh, nightmare.
Darts. How you got tennis elbow, but she was suffering the next game day, but...
she's got darts elbow.
Yeah, but she's stopped playing a long time ago, so... Yeah.
Oh, so, I mean, going back to that tournament in 2015, you got revenge, as it were, against Michael in the semi-finals, then played Phil Taylor, one of the greatest PDC World Finals there's ever been. I mean, what are your memories of that day, that night, that match, Gary?
Just playing the man on that stage, you know, this with Taylor retiring from darts, this is what I tell the youngsters. I says, you've never experienced anything. Even like with your Luke Littlers and Lucas going up into that stage against Taylor. You got a lot of respect for Phil, Gary, haven't you? Yeah, of course. I mean, he's the best, isn't he? Yeah. So you've got to, you know, we did have fallouts now and again, mind. We still banged heads now and again, but just playing that man, that was his domain, wasn't it? The World Championship, Will Taylor. You know, and I did. I was looking forward to it. You know, I was underdog. I like being underdog, and I just thought, just don't make an ass of yourself. Just keep with them, and see what happens. I just find it amazing. I take my hat off to you because, you know, we talked about sort of panicking on the doubles, maybe a bit of nerves at Lakeside. You know, playing in front of a very attentive crowd wasn't your thing, but then you developed to such an extent that you play the greatest player of all time in his domain, as you put it, and you beat him, not just beat him, but you beat him 7-6, like in a deciding set when your nerve could have easily gone, you know. I know mine would have gone, but I just find it interesting the way that you developed mentally, Gary, over that time. Well, not only against Taylor, against the crowd as well. So there was only one way to play that game. It was just concentrate on what you were throwing at, and that was it. Because I think I went to the lead. I'm sure I was in front. And I let him back in, or he played well to get back in, and I think that's when it panicky. But like I say, I held it all together at the end, and I did go for, I'm sure I went for a bull. Did I go for a bull? To win it when he was... Oh, I think you did, yes. When he was quite well behind. Yes, you did. And I should have set it up. But there again, if I'd set it up, I might have missed it. Well, bullseye to win the world title. I mean, you had to have a go. Absolutely, understandable. And left myself 25, which was funny because I've been doing it the whole tournament and I couldn't hit double 12 to save my life. And even Eric Bristol says, why do you keep leaving double 12? He goes, because you can't hit it. And I went, I've got 25 left, I'm going double 12. And I did, and it went in. So I remember your darts falling out the board for the 180. Also that. I remember that. I bet you do. Yeah, and Taylor standing there looking what went on, and then walked up and hit a 180. I went, you heartless bugger. But I think you still won that set. Yes, like, again, that was mental fortitude. Just that set alone. It was just a proper game of darts. That's what I like about this game. When you get two blokes just wanting to play darts, there's nothing better to watch. You know, sometimes there's a bit of theatrics in it, which I can't, but I just want to play darts. Well, you're on the record sort of quite strongly talking about that, Gary. Does it wind you up? It's I can't get my hand around it. It's from A to B to C. That's it. You throw your last dart. I mean, Justin Pipe used to get a lot of grief about playing slow, right? But if you ever watch his last dart, as soon as that dart banged the board, he was up and he was out your way. Yeah, he was. Yeah, and it's just it's great. It's not only that, but you'll find the two boys will usually play better as well. and that'll give the crowds a bit more to get into. But some of these slow games can be tedious, I'll tell you.
Well, I mean that sort of goes back because the player who you played back when you first started, who was a very slow player who used to win these £500 tournaments. I mean, all that experience. Does you in good stead, doesn't it?
Ian Willis, but I mean, he could put the brakes on, and then he could really put the brakes on.
Oh, right.
He was brilliant. He just used to smile at you because you knew exactly what he was doing.
Imagine him on the Pro Tour today.
I know. He's But it was. I mean, I can remember sitting watching Priestley at Wigan or somewhere practicing Dennis, and he's thrown away and he's hitting everything, but he's thrown fast. And I went, he must be speeding up now. Game on.
Oh,
it was like back to normal.
Yeah.
But even as a fast player, it was really good, Dennis. So I just like to get on with it. If the boy beats you, shake his hand. Well done, all the best. Yeah. Let me get out of here now.
So what's Gary Anderson like? What's the real Gary Anderson like, Gary, away from darts? When he's not at darts, not in an environment. What's the real Gary Anderson like? Is he quiet? Is he shy? Is he retired?
I like the quiet life. I like I'm quite funny with getting stopped, with getting photographs and that. I'd usually walk about with a hat on or a hoodie up and nobody recognises me, which is great. But I do like to be out just in peace and quiet, out at my fishing lakes, working away, out beside all the wildlife, out in the fresh air. I love that, Being kind of, famous, infamous, whatever you want to call it, I would rather stay away from that side. I like to be in the shadows, to be honest. Yeah. Stay in the background.
I mean, just you and family, and that's it, that's you done.
I've got a wee bubble that I live in, and I've got my family, my friends, and that, and my jobs, and that's it. I'm happy as a pig in muck.
So, what are the different jobs, Gary, at the moment? What's going on?
Well, just the lakes. That takes up. I'm there. If I'm not at darts for a month, I'm there more or less for the whole month. Just working away, just trying to keep the site on top of the branches growing, the leaves falling, the rakings, the scrapings, the cutting down. So we've got a lot of work to do, but I'm not touching a single chainsaw until after January.
Oh no! For God's sake, don't chop your fingers off.
I'm not going to any big tools, heavy tools.
Yeah, exactly. You got to win a third world title first in nice. Christmas before you go with chainsaws. Oh gosh!
And I've got a lot of trees to come down now. They need to come down. They're starting to lean a bit, so they definitely need to come out.
Okay, no,
that can be done after January.
I mean, during COVID time, you kind of had a bit of a. Like an awakening, as it were, that you really liked the home life, and you've been spending so many years on the road, and during COVID time, you really enjoyed your home time, didn't you?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it. I mean, it's people say it must be a great life. Yes and no. I mean, it's great for what you can actually make as a living, doing what you do, but at the same time, if you've got a family, you're never there. You're never there, and it's a bit of 50-50 scenario. If you want the lifestyle, you've got to be away all the time doing it, and that can cause ripples back home. If you're on the road living out a suitcase for weeks and months on end, it's hard going. You miss your family, you miss your kids, and it's tough. It's quite a hard life. People think it's the limelight and that, but it's not that.
There's a lot of sacrifice, isn't there? Yeah. And I think, is it fair to say that when the time came to go back to darts, you didn't want to do it at first?
Like I say, I was used to living in hotels for weeks and weeks and weeks. I loved it, but being at home, spending all the time at home with the kids, and my garden was perfect. I just bought the fishing lakes as well, which was a bad time for business, but it gave me the whole year to be up there and clear all the site. So we done all the work up there, got it, and then when COVID passed, the lakes were ready to open. And of
course, you practiced a lot during COVID, didn't you, Gary?
No.
You don't practice anyway, do you? How much do you practice?
I don't.
You genuinely don't?
I genuinely don't. And people, even there was a boy at Sky says, how you do? I said, I'll tell you what, you come and live with me for 6 months. You can video every second of my life. I says, by then that you'll be apologising to me. I says, I do not have time to. A couple of years ago, last year, me and Ryan were putting in a lot of time through the week, a couple of nights a week, but proper darts, which helped me in bundles. But it's just when I get home at that time of night, I don't want to say that word.
No.
I don't want to say that word.
Do you know, can I be totally honest with you? When we came back after COVID, I was a little bit concerned for you, Gary, if I'm honest, because, you know, you weren't sort of playing as well as what you were. The things you were saying, oh, you know, I'm not enjoying darts. You know, I'd rather be at home. I loved my time during COVID at home. I want to be at home. And I wondered whether we would see you back at that sort of top level, that very top level again.
Yeah.
Over the last 18 months or so, that has started to happen again. You've won 2 European. You've gone back on. You've gone back onto the European tour for a start.
Yeah.
Then you've won 2 of them and had good runs in others.
Yeah.
You know, you've reached the semis of the Grand Slam. You had a great game against Luke Littler there. That was a couple of years ago. We've seen your best form again, Gary, over the last. I mean, again, was there something that changed?
I just think it's down to it's on the day now. You know, I've got the way it is now. I've got no expectations. You know, it's a win-win. If I turn up and lose, so be it. I get to go home. If I do win, it's a kind of bonus for me now. You know, so if I do win, so either way is a win-win situation. You know, I still like playing darts. Like I say, I think darts now, if you want to be up there, you've got to commit 100%. You know, every night I need to be on that board, and at this moment in my time, I said that last night in an interview, I says I just can't do that just now. You know, if I ever got rid of the lakes and that, and I was really bored, then all I can do is play darts, isn't it? That's all I've got to do if I get rid of the lakes. So, yeah, I think if I needed to get back up there, I'd have to go at 100, 110% practice-wise.
Is the fire still there?
It is when I get on stage. You know, there's days that I turn up, or like when I sit in the room going, "What am I doing?" You know. But as soon as I get to the venue, we start playing. Even like stages, I can't be bothered most of the time until my foot gets on that top step, and it's like, right, we're up for a game of darts now.
Yeah. Because you've been on record again several times to say, you know, I play darts, and if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose, which is great. And I think that comes across, Gary. I really do.
Yeah.
But in the same breath, you want to win, Gary, don't you? Do you know what I mean?
You still want to win. I mean, you do. I mean, you see some boys getting beat, and honestly, they're in bits. I'm saying, listen, you've got another one in a few weeks' time. Concentrate on that one. You know, you've always got one after it. You know, they get into bits of it. They've got to remember, getting beat first round, yeah, it's not what you wanted, but still a payday for them, and it's usually a good payday for them. So count themselves lucky, they're getting a payday.
Whereas back 20, 25 years ago, when you were going out, I don't know, if you went out first round of a BDO comp somewhere, I don't know, or in the early rounds,
it was enough for a bag of chips.
And a Kit Kat. As amazing as what the organisation was and what it did and still does for amateur players and things, but it's easily forgotten where you come from.
You've got to. I mean, you know, I'm like I say, it's like you get a bit of money, you buy a nice car, but as you get older, you think, well, you need to save for a rainy day now, because that rainy day will come, and it always does. You know, so try being a bit clever about what you do and doing that, and try telling youngsters. It's hard telling the youngsters, isn't it? They're at the darts, they finish playing, they want to go out clubbing and that. You can't really say no to them, because that's what youngsters do. But at the same time, darts is their job, and they don't want to be turning up in the morning not feeling well when they've got to go to work. You know, that's going to be their bread and butter. So they've got to kind of screw the head on a wee bit.
Please don't retire, Gary. please don't.
If we're sitting here in 10 years' time, I ain't going to be happy.
Oh, I tell you what, we'll do another podcast, shall we? In 10 years' time, we'll do this again.
Yeah.
And
I still enjoy it. Like I say, it is hard sometimes with travelling that. And but I still enjoy it. Still enjoy coming and meeting the boys and having a bit of banging heads on the dartboard.
See, I mean, even personally, I grew up with you, Gary. So you can't leave. Do you know what I mean?
It's like some of the boys saying, I got photos with some of the young dart players, the Dutch dart. Well, they're not young now; they're in their 30s. They'll just be boys. I'm like, God, how old am I? But it's good. It's good to see them. Van Gerwen, I knew Van Gerwen when he was about 14, you know, and look how he turned out, you know.
Well, what's your relationship like with Michael, Gary? Because for a while it was the biggest rivalry in darts at a certain period of time, wasn't it?
It was good, you know. He was always great with Ty. We always had a laugh, you know, but we made it kind of look like we're out to get each other, you know. All the respect for Michael as well. He was phenomenal for over a decade. You know, you had your Bristows, your Taylors, your Van Gerwens. Humphrey, to me, is still I think he's still got a lot to do, Humphreys. And then Luke Littler's come on the scene, isn't he? So darts it's in a good place.
I mean, how well do you know Luke Littler? How well do you? I mean, you've played him a few times. He's had some great games.
You know, when I first met him, and he was sitting there, quiet lad. You know, he is quite quiet. And And I said to the missus, I says, he's quite, she goes, you've got to remember, he's only 17. He's sitting in a room while you old buggers. You know, you've got Michael Smith and that in their mid-30s, you've got some of the boys in their 40s, you've got me in their 50s. He's just a 17-year-old. You know, so what's he going to talk to us about? And I thought, oh, you're right. There's not that many his age there. So if I maybe took Ty and him would probably get on a lot better because they're into all the gaming and all that. So they would know what they're talking about. So, but yeah, but he's I think his head's screwed on, keeps himself to himself, and what a fantastic player.
Have you ever seen anything like him, Gary, in terms of, obviously his ability, and of course you were there with Phil Taylor as well, but just in terms of his impact, do you know what I mean? Like the headlines, the attention.
Van Gerwen when he was young. Van Gerwen was like that when he was about 14. Tremendous, you know, scary good. And then Luke, just as good, if not a bit better. But then in a year's time, there's going to be somebody coming along that's even better.
Would you have enjoyed the attention Luke Littler's had over the last couple of years, Gary?
No. I like falling out with the press and then so they don't talk to me. I like staying out of the way. You know, I mean, it's all about the youngsters now. You know, I think it is. I mean, to me, the old boys now are your Michael Smiths, your Nathan Aspinalls. You know, they're going to be classed as old ones very shortly. So these youngsters are going to give them a hell of a time.
As long as you don't have any more injuries, Gary, if I may say so, because you have had your fair share, haven't you, over the years?
Spent a lot of time getting work on my back and that, and my shoulders. But
that's going back a few years, isn't it?
Yeah, that's gone back. Yeah, but the boy used to do my neck and my back and that. He retired, so I've not had it done since. I don't trust anyone else. He was good, old Mike. So. He was brilliant.
But you're all good now. You know, at this moment.
I don't know if it's aches or pains or just old age, but in the morning could be a bit of hard work getting up.
I tell you, you're doing a good day over 30, Gary, honestly.
Well, I feel over 90, put it that way.
Oh, mate.
Insides are different.
Well, I tell you, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, Gary. Honestly, it's a real honour for you to come on. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. This has been fabulous. And
a coffee as well, so I can't complain.
And you got a
coffee as well.
I knew what you wanted, Gaz. I knew what you wanted.
Give me a coffee and I'm all right, I'm fine.
Yeah, exactly. Mate, honestly, absolute pleasure.
You're welcome.
One of the greatest dart players of all time. So thank you so much.
And we'll book one in for 10 years' time.
And book one in for 10 years' time here. When you're a pundit and you're still travelling the world doing punditry, there's an idea, love.
You won't understand me, Huw. I need subtitles. But no, it's been a pleasure. We said we would get it done, so it took a while, but we got there.
Thanks, Gary. Thank you, mate.
You're welcome.